I am Derek Hankerson with FirstCoast.tv. We're here at Comanche Cove, and behind me is the Chalupa, built by hand with all volunteers through the Maritime Heritage Foundation. You might ask yourself, what is a chalupa? In this case, a chalupa is a small boat between 24 and 38 feet that was Basque from the mid-16th century, that were on the Spanish galleons upon the arrival of Pedro Menendez de Aviles in 1565. The chalupa would be rowed to shore with supplies, animals, food, free and enslaved Africans, military personnel, and families. This has been a 5-year project with 3 years construction, and the chalupa replica was built with live oak and modern tools. Let's go back to the site where the chalupa was built and talk to some of those who were involved in this project.
I am Roy Jager. I am the Vice President of the St. Augustine Maritime Heritage Foundation, and we have a group of people that are very dedicated, and with us we have our President, Maury Kaiser, and others who have worked so hard in building this boat. This is our chalupa. This craft was built by volunteers here at the Fountain of Youth in what we call our 16th century boatyard. It's been under construction for almost 5 years now by volunteers. Our volunteers basically work 3 days a week and have created this masterpiece, which will be launched later today. It's hard to explain the feeling that you get when you're at this spot and you realize you're at the very spot where Pedro Menendez landed back in 1565 on September 8th, and that's been proven archaeologically. So what we have done, we have tried to build a replica, including the boathouse, of what had taken place here as the first chalupa was built back in the 16th century.
I'm Maury Kaiser. I'm president of the Maritime Heritage Foundation. The chalupa project here, we laid the keel approximately 3 years ago, actually on the 24th of March in 2012. The project's being done by the foundation in partnership with the Fountain of Youth, who has provided us the space to do this project, and funding and moral support. Our other partner in the project is the St. Augustine Lighthouse and Museum, who has provided, through Dr. Sam Turner, the historical research that supported the project. And they have also provided moral support and funding. We've had many other businesses in the community, individuals in the community who have stepped forward, have joined the foundation, and have supported us over the last several years in this project with in-kind donations and monetary support. The project itself is based on 3 things, one of which is the written historical information that's been uncovered by Dr. Turner, pictorial information of the period that's represented in the Boazio map, Drake's raid on the project, on the city in 1586, and archaeological research, the actual construction of the vessel. People ask us, where are your construction plans? And they are actually in a report prepared by Parks Canada of the excavation and documentation of a wreck of a very similar vessel up in Red Bay, Labrador, Nova Scotia. Their research has provided us the details for the chalupa. We have tried to be as accurate in the construction using the joinery, the fastenings, the planking techniques and everything that they use there. We have, in some cases, we've, as you heard in a minute in the background there, with modern tools, we have used modern tools to do much of the project. I kind of joke around and say we want to be historically correct, but we don't want to be stupid at the same time. So we've taken a look at the long-term maintenance of the vessel. The vessel is interesting that the timber in the vessel, it's a totally wood boat, and all of that has been sourced locally And by locally, I don't mean shopping at our local lumber yard or Home Depot. This is all wood that has been harvested locally. The keel, the frames, the stem and stern of the vessel are live oak that was harvested locally. Much of the harvesting has been done by our volunteers. We've taken it to a local sawmill, which has milled the wood for us to our specification. The planking on the vessel is again locally procured red cedar provided to us by the East Palatka sawmill. Again, logs that have been harvested here locally in northeast Florida, taken to the mill and cut in the mill and then brought over here and fashioned into the pieces we need.
This is a very exciting day for us here in St. Augustine for the 450th anniversary and for the Maritime Heritage Foundation. Today, they're dropping the chalupa in the water. This is a very important moment because we're checking to see if the seals have been aligned properly and that the boat does not take on water, because this chalupa will be used for various different events and activities this year during the 450th anniversary. The chalupa will sit in the water for 24 hours, and the Maritime Heritage Foundation volunteers will come back tomorrow and check on the boat and see if they need to make any adjustments. Roy, how much water can this boat take on?
Well, obviously, we hope it will not take on too much water. But being a wooden boat and something that was designed by us and built by the foundation, we're sure that there will be, some leaks. But aside from that, you have wood swells, and it has to sit in the water a while so it doesn't leak. And so we might find by tomorrow morning the boat is perfectly tight. And right now what they're doing is just looking to see if there are any major leaks or fissures in the hull.